Hi, YouTube. So I am coming to you today from work because my whole office pretty much has gone out to lunch and I declined to go. They're going as a celebration for finishing a big project because I am trying to stick to my pre-op plan. Um, really, I declined to go because on Friday, the coworkers are taking me out to a restaurant in San Francisco for lunch because they serve there something called a loco moco. I think I always say it backwards, which is a Hawaiian dish that I absolutely loved when I was in Hawaii and have been craving ever since. And it's basically, it sounds gross, but it's delicious rice with a hamburger patty, egg, and brown gravy. And it's super yummy. And they know that I've wanted one for a really long time. So they're taking me out on Friday. And then I have a concert that I'm going to on Saturday where I probably will drink all of the vodka. So then I have another thing, well, Mother's Day on Sunday. And there's just all kinds of things going on that are not good for my pre-op diet. So I'm trying to stick to it as much as possible on the days that I don't have something planned, which was today. So I stayed and I ate my 3 ounces of chicken breast with a little bit of mustard, and I'm really going to stick to the plan because I have to stay at or under my goal weight in order for them to do my surgery on the 19th. So I wanted to do a video about what my appointments were yesterday. So I'm having surgery at Kaiser Richmond, California on the 19th. And they have several classes you have to attend, but they sort of lump them together. So yesterday's classes were the um, post-operative nutrition, and I'm going to do a different video on that because I want to show some products that I have and whatnot, and post-operative basically care and what to expect. So I got there at about 8 in the morning and registered and weighed in, which I was very nervous about because my scale on Monday night, well, Sunday, was showing that I was up, and you can't be up over your goal weight. But for some reason, when I finally went in yesterday and they weighed me in, I was 3 pounds under what I had been on Thursday. So that was good. So then we all went to the class, and the first 2 hours were led by the case manager, and she just talked a lot about of things to expect when you get there, what's going to happen immediately after. She handed out spirometers to help with deep breathing to avoid pneumonia, and then gave us ideas of the medications that we're going to be taking. Most of those, aside from the pain medication, are being delivered to my house by the pharmacy, so they'll be there at my house ready to go when I get home. And I believe those include the Carafate, which is something to coat your stomach, a antacid, acid reducer, obviously the pain meds, but those aren't delivered, um, and something else that I can't remember. I wasn't really prepared to do that part either. So she just did a lot of talk about that, what the incisions are going to be like, a lot of talk about pain, what the pain's going to feel like, what to expect. They no longer do a catheter, and they no longer give the patient pain pump. The nurses administer the pain meds. They found at this facility that the patient administered pain pumps were not great for recovery. The patients were actually, she said the patients' families were encouraging too much pain medicine, and they were, it's better if the nurses administer it. She did say if you have any pain to let them know, and they will. It's not like they're stingy with it, but sometimes the patients were getting more pain meds than they actually really wanted or needed. She talked about walking in the hospital as much as possible, about the various pains that you're going to have when you get up, mostly being what I've seen a lot of you guys talk about on YouTube, which is the gas pains. She talked about what the incisions are going to be like. So my surgeon does incisions in the stitches, dissolvable stitches in the muscle, and then basically super glues the incision shut. And then she just talked about caring for those, different things to look at, different things to notice or call them about. Any shortness of breath is a 911 call once you get home. Any fever over 101, you're supposed to call them. If your incisions start leaking stinky stuff or green stuff, you're supposed to call them. She talked about the obvious things to expect. You're not going to feel great. The long wearing pain medicine they inject into the incision starts wearing off the day that you go home. They want you to take the pain medicine for 24 hours round the clock as scheduled when you get home, and then as needed after that. She talked about the other things. Okay, sorry, you guys. My work extension rang, obviously, so I had to get that. I don't remember exactly where I was. I think I was talking about different things to expect. So she obviously let us know about the bowel issues that a lot of people experience. They recommend that you start taking Benefiber after the first few weeks, and then after those 2 hours, she answered some questions. They addressed sort of some of the issues about hair loss and things like that. She actually talked about, don't go out and buy a whole new wardrobe. Every time that you do have to go buy clothes, buy the smallest size possible, that you're going to run out of, go through clothes really fast. Thrift stores are good, stuff like that. And then we went on the next 2 hours were with the nutritionist, and she went through the various stages of food, and also covered the vitamins that I talked about in my video yesterday. And I'm not going to go through the food stages because, again, I want to show some of the things that I've picked up, and talk about that in a separate video. That was one of the things that I really looked at a lot of videos about, so I'd like to create one as well to help people, excuse me, I just drank a whole bunch of water, who are pre-operative, to know about the different food stages. So it was very good and very informative. But so now we're at noon during the day, and they scheduled everybody for their physical appointments that day. And mine said 1:30, but what they ended up doing was they took the whole group of us and walked us over to that area of the hospital, and had us wait. So the nurse came out and said they were going to try and pack as many people as possible in before lunch, and then everybody else would have to come back at 1:30. Thankfully, I was in that first group, so the nurse had me go in and they took my blood pressure, which was very high, and so she commented on it, and I said they always have to take it twice. I have white coat syndrome, and for whatever reason, my first reading is always ridiculous, and the second reading is much better. So they took the second reading, and it was fine. And then they had me go back out to the waiting room where I waited for the doctor, and he came and got me, and basically all he really did was listen to my heart and lungs, both of which he said were fine. He commented that my heart rate was pretty fast, and I told him, yeah, my heart it does beat faster than the average person's. I had supraventricular tachycardia that was corrected by a cardiac ablation in 2011. And basically what that means is my heart would beat extremely fast for no particular reason. And by that, I mean like 260 beats a minute. For no particular reason. And well, to me, the reason is that my heart had created extra electrical synapses that made it just beat really fast. So I went in and I had that corrected in 2010, where they go in through the veins in your leg, and they feed a little wire up through a tiny little pinhole incision to your heart, and they basically burn your heart muscle where those extra synapses are occurring to create scar tissue that they can't jump over. It's all like electrical stuff in your body. It's pretty cool. It's not like open heart surgery or anything. So those were corrected, but my heart rate will still always run a little bit high, not 250 beats a minute high, but whereas a normal person's resting heart rate is supposed to be 60 or whatever, mine will never really be that. So he commented on that, and then literally the next 20 minutes were spent in there with him typing things into the computer, and asking me questions. I think he asked me about the ablation 5 times as he was typing it. Cardiac ablation in 2010. 2 seconds later, cardiac ablation in 2010. Asked me about my if I had any allergies, which I don't. Asked me about any other surgeries I've had, which are none except for my wisdom teeth, and stuff like that. So all in all, it was a pretty good day. It was very long. I hadn't eaten or drank anything at all before arriving, and then I only had water the whole time I was there. So by the time I left, I was starving. And then I don't know, it was pretty good. The only thing that I left not feeling particularly great about is I've never had general anesthesia, and I understand that the anesthesia itself can make you pretty sick to your stomach, combined with obviously having surgery on your stomach. So I am kind of really nervous about that. But, it is what it is, and it's only a couple days, and I'm just going to get through it. I know some of you guys, I've seen some of your early videos, had a pretty hard time in the beginning days, but you all come out on the other side and are all doing great. So I'm just going to keep on, keeping on and try and remind myself as much as possible that while the first little while is going to be really difficult and maybe miserable, in the long run, this is going to dramatically improve my life, and just in ways that I can't even probably imagine. I mean, I know what's on the horizon, but do I really know? I don't know. That was a lot of no. So I feel pretty good. I went to Target after and did like major shopping of all kinds of stuff. So not only I'm going to do a food video, but then I'm also going to do like a pre-op shopping video, but I'm going to wait until Friday because then I also ordered a bunch of stuff online. And I keep saying on Facebook and stuff like that I don't like to clothes shop, that I'm not really a shopping person. And that's true, but what I am is a stuff shopping person. I love to shop for stuff. So I did buy a shit ton of stuff, and I'm going to post about that and do like a pre-op shopping haul video. So anyway, I hope you guys are all having a good day, and I'll be talking to you soon. All right, bye you guys.